For the official announcement, to Hank Rapinski.
The time, 2 minutes, 33 seconds of the 5th round. Referee Zach Layton stops the contest. The winner by a technical knockout, Tyrone Jackson.
Tyrone Jackson is our winner. TKO at 2:33 of the 5th round. Jackson now 17 wins, no defeats. Gonzalez's record drops to 14 wins and 6 defeats. We're at the Sands Hotel and Casino here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Howard David with Arthur Mercanti and Dick Landis. Thus far tonight, we have seen the likes of Johnny Vitarusa winning in unanimous fashion over Carlos Amaya, 10-round decision, and Charlie Choo Choo Brown, the winner by a knockout at 132 of the 1st round over Ruben Munoz out of Odessa, Texas. As Munoz's record dropped to 16-4, and Charlie Brown's record now 22-2-1 with 16 knockouts in his 21 victories. And just concluded moments ago, Elvin Gonzalez losing on a technical knockout. Tyrone Jackson, the winner at 2:33 of the 5th round in this featherweight. Thank you, Randy Gordon. Well, you got to like that. He took a stand, and he's going right up with it.
I tell you, he was absolutely right. I agree with him 100%.
Congratulations to Randy Gordon as the new publisher of Ring Magazine. Coming up, we're going to be showing you the Johnny Carter Felix Cortes fight, which is a junior featherweight battle. Before we do that, we're going to hear from Dick Landis with this follow-up report on Larry Holmes.
Two boxing stories grabbed headlines this week. Both involve prominent fighters. First, it was Larry Holmes making a clean break, giving back the King's Crown, and heading off to greener pastures arm in arm with a relatively new International Boxing Federation. Holmes is no dope. He has acquired the status and wealth that make for more of the same status and wealth. As the darling now of the IBF, Holmes stands to have an impact on boxing like no other heavyweight champion before him, like no other fighter before him, if he wants that. Let's take a look into the future, and we'll see Holmes as the retired, undefeated world champion, as a successful promoter, the leader of boxing reform, the power broker of boxing. Does it sound ridiculous? Not quite. A mixture of fate and fortune have placed him in a position to be remembered as the greatest if he wants it. The ingredients are there for Holmes to have impact and influence like no one else. Larry Holmes didn't merely switch sides. He did much more. He served notice that he has acquired a silent power, a power that someday could rule boxing, that would make him truly king. In another move, Sugar Ray Leonard came back into the ring. The concern of future eye damage has apparently taken a back seat to the whispers of a competitive spirit and the temptations of the soul. Leonard's sense of timing, both in the ring and of opportunity, will have to be very good. Successful comebacks are rare in boxing history. Sugar Ray was once a rare talent. Let's hope he doesn't cheapen that talent. Let's hope he can beat the odds if that's his way of making boxing history.
Junior featherweight battle, Johnny Carter and Felix Cortes. Johnny Dancing Machine Carter, 5'5", 123 pounds with a 68-inch reach. And Felix Cortes, 5'6", 123 with a 69-inch reach. 26-year-old Carter, 21-year-old Cortez. Carter, a 6-year pro. Cortez, only 2 years. 14 fights for Cortez and 26 for Johnny Carter.
Changing your height, Sammy. Change your height a little more.
In the aquamarine trunks, and Felix Cortes in the white, red, white, and blue.
Well, I tell you, I noticed something immediately. Felix looks just like Camacho. I don't know whether he boxes as well, but there is really a look-alike there.
This fight scheduled for 8 rounds. Carter's been off for a while. Was in an automobile accident shortly after his bout with Jeff Chandler. Says he's okay now and he's in tip-top shape.
Well, time will tell. He's got a pretty good left hook, but Felix has an unusual style like you just saw there. He has to be very, very careful because Carter has been around a long time.
Carter turned pro 1977, while Cortez has only been a pro for a little more than a year.
Yeah, that's a long time to be in the ring, I'll tell you. He's fought some pretty good talent, too. He fought and was defeated by Chandler, but he did beat Chandler in the amateurs. Chandler, the WBA champion.
Fought Jeff Chandler in March 27th, 1982. Was knocked out in the 6th round in Philadelphia. That was for the WBA bantamweight title.
Come on up in there, Carter. Come on.
Round 1 of the scheduled 8 rounder between Johnny Carter on the left of your screen and Felix Cortes in the white trunks.
Carter looks pretty good. He's slipping very well. He's got a pretty good jab in there, and he is the aggressor. And that's important in boxing, to be the aggressor.
Good left and a right by Johnny Carter.
The only thing I didn't like then, excuse me, Howard, is that he leads with a right, and that's very, very dangerous. He just was off both of his feet in the air when he threw that right.
Carter getting the better of it here in round 1. Good combinations.
It was a great left hook, and Felix didn't have his right hand up at that time. He did prior to this, though.
Under a minute remaining in round 1 of the scheduled 8 rounder between Johnny Carter and Felix Cortes. Good right by Cortez, probably the best punch he's thrown in round 1.
If he would settle down a little more, we'd have more beat behind that right hand. He's reaching for it. He should wait till Carter comes in.
Carter, the veteran. Cortez probably facing his toughest opponent to date.
Well, they better pace themselves because they're young men and have 8 rounds to go, and they're going at a pretty fast pace right now. There's that left hook again of Carter's. It had really clipped Felix right on the chin because he had his right hand down too low.
Carter has switched to southpaw.
Now that's dangerous to do.
Closing seconds of round 1 between Cortez and Carter. All right, let's listen in on the corner of Felix Cortez and see what his handlers have to say.
You got to go back to boxing and don't spin those grips. All right? Get over. Go back to boxing. Using that jab. You're lunging with your punches. You can't do that, okay? Take your time to take your ass and keep your hands up. You drop your right hand. Now you can't do that. Give him some lateral movement. Give him lateral movement. Keep that jab down.
All right, there's a corker right hand by Cortez, and of course Carter retaliated. He tried to counter punch but missed. Cortez did a nice job of bobbing and weaving.
Cortez's corner people would tell him to go back to boxing, which is something that you were alluding to in the first round, Arthur, the fact that he was going at a faster pace, trying to unload early.
Yeah, he better slow down because he looks like a very, very good prospect for the future.
Round 2 of the scheduled 8 rounder between Johnny Carter on the left, Felix Cortez on the right. Junior featherweights. Carter came in at 123 pounds. It's only his second fight as a junior featherweight. Beat Ray Menifee in August of this year, 4th round knockout. Good left by Carter. But Cortez was backing off at the time.
Now Cortez would be better off if he just threw that left jab of his out because he has a very good left jab. Dancing around that way, that's the way to lose points.
And who better to know how fighters lose points than you?
Another thing I noticed that Cortez's mouthpiece I see readily now. I hope that's not a sign of getting tired because he did start out quite fast. He's on the retreat now. I think he has a lot of respect for Carter. And that kind of a right hand that Carter threw will certainly gain respect.
Good left by Carter. Stung him. Carter very quick.
All right, Carter's in good balance now, Howard. He's got his feet firmly implanted on the ring canvas, and he's got power. Carter looks a little lighter in weight. I just don't understand. Maybe it's because a combination of the high trunks or something, or the low trunks, whatever you want to call it, but he looks light.
He stepped up from the bantamweight division, was had problem making the weight. Therefore, he came up to the cut combination by Cortez.
Cortez doesn't seem to have the power in his punches. It seems like they're kind of an open glove when he throws his punches.
Tighten up on the glove.
There's a very nice jab on the part of Carter, and he comes back with a good left hook in combinations.
Veteran Carter snapping out the left jab. Under a minute remaining in the round. Round 2 of the scheduled 8-rounder. Good left by Carter. Staggered Cortez momentarily. And another good left.
And he's getting tagged all the time now because he's not keeping that right hand open in front of his face. He's getting tagged.
Carter knows he's got Cortez in trouble here.
His best bet is to stay away from those ropes and dance around. Keep throwing that jab out. Keep the right hand high. But he's not doing it.
Good action in the second round. Most of it off the hands of Johnny Carter. Calls himself the dancing machine. And he's dancing right now and tattooing Felix Cortez.
Carter, it appears to me, looking at him, has a very confident feeling. He's really on the inside there, and he connects with everything on the inside.
Last 5 seconds of round 2. All right, at the end of round 2, let's go on over to Johnny Carter's corner. Record of 24-2 with 16 knockouts. Out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the dancing machine. Let's listen in on his corner.
Hey, you wait in the car. They turn to the Run him into those touches, Doc. Understand? When you stiff jab, his head goes up. That's when you know you want to. So the head is up in the hand, you got it.
All right, Arthur, on the replay, look at the lefts of Carter.
That was a beautiful left thrown by, but he reached out. Felix kind of reached out, then Carter comes right back on a counter punch and the jab, and he's the aggressor in that round all the way.
Felix Cortez, currently living in Waterbury, Connecticut, born in Puerto Rico. Turned pro a year ago. He's only 21 years of age and has already had 11 professional fights. He's won 9. All right, here's the beginning of round number 3 in this junior featherweight battle. Johnny Carter on the right, Felix Cortez on the left. Scheduled 8-rounder.
Felix would be better off if he would just get a little firmer on that canvas. He's bouncing around too much, and that tires a fighter by all that bouncing around. His jabs are very, very light. They're kind of tapping out.
Good combination. That stung Carter by Cortez, perhaps his best combination.
Well, he just got a little firmer on his feet, and that's what he has to do if he wants to have any impact in those blows.
Lancing blow by Carter and a combination by Johnny Carter.
Johnny Carter has a very, very effective left hook. He just keeps landing with it all the time. And Felix is wrong by dropping that right hand.
Good left again by Carter. Another good left and a combination. What Carter's trying to do, as I see it, is just cut down the size of the ring.
That's absolutely true, Howard, and he's doing a very, very good job. He doesn't look tired. He's doing a very good workmanlike job.
Well, it's easy to see who the veteran is. Very smart fighter.
Well, as you said before, 1977 against 1981. Felix
Carter,
is a newcomer.
No, excuse me, Arthur. He's got him in trouble.
No, Cortez he is in trouble.
Cortez.
He looks like he's not going to make it, Howard. He would be best off right now stopping that fight. He's out of it, and he did. Good call.
A good call by Zach Clayton. And one good referee knows when another good referee makes the right decision. Zach Clayton wisely calls the fight because Felix Cortez did not know what day it was.
Well, that's what's needed in boxing. You need a little compassion, and you have to know when to stop a fight, and Zach certainly stopped that fight at the right time.
Technical knockout of round 3. 1 minute and 46 seconds of the 3rd round. Johnny Carter wins his 25th fight in 27 decisions as he stops Felix Cortez here in the 3rd round.
I think Carter looked quite good tonight for a long layoff. And there's that glancing right. from Carter, but he did connect here with that right uppercut right to the chin. That's the one that did the damage, and you could see now that Felix was hurt. He kind of ran off and was glanced again. He was hurt by that first right uppercut. After that, he wasn't really hit with a good shot.
No question about it. All right, from another angle, Arthur.
He hit him with the left hook. Was a glancing left hook. The right uppercut was the punch before that. And there it is. With lefts and rights, he knew that he had him. And now Felix starts to run off. He doesn't really know where he is. He was tired and hurt. There's a good left jab. And that was about the end of it. Carter really wanted to get after him again while he was down, and Zach really reprimanded him to go right back to the corner.
All right, let's go back up to the middle of the ring and ring announcer Hank Krupinski.
Red time, 1 minute, 46 seconds of the third round. Referee Zach Clayton stops the contest. The winner by a technical knockout, Johnny the Dancing Machine Carter.
So Johnny Carter out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, defeats Felix Cortez. TKO third round. Zach Clayton stops at minute and 46 seconds into the round. And Johnny Carter has his 25th victory in 27 bouts. An impressive showing, I think, by Johnny Carter.
Yeah, and Johnny Carter is very, very subdued. What was happening?